When someone has a mental health disorder or a substance use disorder or a combination of both, you want them to have a treatment plan that will actually help them get a lot better. So when you go to a professional counselor, they would look at a diagnosis and an assessment, and usually they will address the physiological needs, then the emotional needs, and the psychosocial needs. But when you're looking at recovery and healing and restoration, it's essential that you address the spiritual needs of a person also. They're going to need to develop hope. They're going to need to have a renewed sense of faith. They want to have to start trusting people again. They want to be able to forgive other people and forgive themselves. So when you look at AA and NA, it's described as a spiritual psychosocial recovery program. So one of the things you'll see people do when they're getting better is they're getting into this group and they're actually becoming involved and beginning to learn to communicate with people, to trust them again, and to feel accepted and given an opportunity to become a new person. One of the stories I heard from a pastor when I was in the recovery training programs in Orlando, Florida, was he talked about the woundedness of people. And he said if someone broke their arm, they could put it in a cast and it would probably be better in 3 to 6 months. But when you're wounded spiritually, emotionally, or your heart is wounded, then it gets ingrained into your psyche and your spirit. And woundedness can actually hold you in bondage for a lifetime or even be passed on to other people. So what he said is spiritually, when someone is wounded or damaged, there is usually often a lie placed in them that holds them bondage or captive for quite a long time. And there can be two different types of lies that are holding people in bondage or keeping them to where they can't get better. One is a projected lie. That's something that someone else, maybe like your parents or a close loved one, would say, oh, you're no good, you're never going to be any better, you're damaged goods. And an internalized lie would be a lie that you tell yourself is, I can't trust anybody, I'm always going to be no good, I can't get better, I deserve this. So you see these two different types of lies. And when you have those, they can hold people in bondage for a long, long time. And I'm including a list of these projected and internalized lies that'll be in the show notes at the end of this teaching.